The great news about the story about my son Cass, he no longer wears diapers at 26 years old. He beat that urge to always play with his Mega Blocks and never go to the bathroom that was 10 feet away. And he conquered um, he conquered that struggle that he had. And we can do the same thing. Hey everybody, it's James here at the world famous Trout Lake Camps podcast studio. We are in episode 14. We are in our fifth week, and we're talking about how this is my friend Justin, producer extraordinaire. And we are training our hearts to reflect Jesus. And in doing that, I kind of got to be careful with this one. Let me throw the verse in really quick. If by the Spirit ye mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. Romans 8:13. If by the Spirit you kill sin, you'll get to live. I'm always nervous when I tell this story. I don't know if you ever heard this story, Justin, because it involves my son. And it's if you're a ministry person's, a youth pastor's kid, or a pastor's kid, or in my son's case, a camp leader's kid. There's stories that will be told about you because that's what pastors and youth pastors and all those kind of people do. And my son in particular has this one story that I love to tell that is not his favorite. So I don't know. It might be a sin. I might need to check this one down. But I love this story so much. Cass is itty bitty, so he's in diapers, but we're trying to get him out of diapers. I don't know what age that is. That was a long time ago for me, but he's in the almost out of diaper stage, and he's knows what he's doing. He knows how he's doing it, and he's about 2/3 of the way from being diaperless the rest of his life. His twin sister, she's been there, done that. She's gone past it, but he's still kind of working it through. And we're in the living room, and Cass is on the floor playing with Legos. The big old, what are those, Mega Blocks? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, those big Mega Blocks, and he's playing with those Mega Blocks, and playing. And Cass, even to this day, is kind of the engineering type guy. He likes the details. He likes putting things together. He likes taking things apart. It's his favorite. And so I'm watching him do his Mega Blocks and what he's built on the ground, and we're talking about it back and forth. And then all of a sudden, his whole body gets a little stiff, and his head looks towards the restroom, which is roughly 10 feet away. And I watch his body do this, his head look to the restroom, and then slowly come back and look at the Mega Blocks. And then he slowly looks back at the restroom. He grabs the Mega Blocks and dumps into his pants. And you can understand why this is his favorite story. And the thing about it that was so amazing is I'm sitting there watching, and I'm sitting there on the couch, and I'm watching Cass in real time choose, do I walk 10 feet that way and go to the potty, or do I keep playing Mega Blocks and fill my pants? And being a boy in the world that he was, at the age that he was, his little brain went, I am going to keep playing with the Mega Blocks. Now, why did I choose this story? We're in week 5 of choosing to sin less in our lives. And I guarantee sometime in the last few weeks, you have chosen a sin over not doing the sin. And for my favorite, we've got the rocks here, the white rock and the black rock, and playing with them all the time. That's all great. But one of the stories that I have in my head when I'm about to do something stupid is that I'm choosing poop in my pants over running to the bathroom. I don't know. Do we have any great poop in your pants stories on your end, Justin?
Not outside and not anything useful for analogies at this point in my family's life.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Your kids
Yeah.
are still safe.
Yeah.
So I bring that up because 2 days ago, I'm sitting in the living room, and my wife and I are watching some videos, and there's a YouTube video. It's a podcast kind of a thing. Watching them talk about music in the '80s, and again, hopefully you're much younger than having to have lived through music in the '80s. But we're watching this video about the making of a song in the '80s, and this lady's describing it and all that kind of stuff. She's the singer of it. And Elizabeth and I are looking at each other and we're like, well, what song is she talking about? So we clip into YouTube and we go to, the title of that song and her band. And up comes two versions of that song. One version was the '80s radio version, and one version was the explicit version. Okay. And honest to goodness, I'm about to click on one of the two, right? And I'm going, uh-oh, I'm gonna have to write this one down if I clip the explicit version, right? Because I'm trying to watch what's coming into my ears. But at the same time, I'd only ever heard the clean version of that song, and I'm kind of curious. And it was the '80s, and things that were explicit in the '80s are debatable today, and all this kind of stuff. And my wife's standing next to me, and I'm like, oh man, she's gonna see which one I pick. But I'm kind of curious, and I'm kind of, what am I gonna do? And here's the thing: I picked the explicit one, and I shouldn't have. But then there was nothing bad in the song, and it was this total letdown of I was going to do a check mark for. I'm sure in your 5th week of doing this program, I'm sure there's been moments where you've chosen the wrong thing, where you've purposely chosen not the thing that God would want us to choose. You've chosen the explicit. You've chosen the visual wrong. You've chosen to say the wrong thing. You've chosen to do the wrong thing. I just want to let you know that we all poop our pants on occasion. We all mess up on occasion. We all choose that thing. That's why God gives us grace. That's why God knew that we were junk to start. He knows we're junk in the middle, and he knows we're junk at the end. He knew that he had to send his son to make things right. The reason why I'm bringing it up in this video 5 weeks in the how is I want you to remember that even when you mess up, at least you're leaning in the right direction. I learned a valuable lesson yesterday, 2 days ago. I learned a valuable lesson. Don't choose the explicit video because there's nothing even there, you moron. Choose the video you should have chosen the whole time anyway. And I'm sure you're probably going through this as well. In the comments, underneath this video, maybe you've got a situation where you got faced with two choices. To help share, why are you choosing the different things that you're choosing? And again, in this attempt to try to go a day without sinning and then rack up a couple days in a row and maybe even a week without sinning, if that's possible, at least on the 10 things that's on your list of things not to do, or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it is, know that it's okay to have those ups and downs, but learn the lessons through it. Okay. The great news about the story about my son Cass, he no longer wears diapers at 26 years old. He beat that urge to always play with his Mega Bloks and never go to the bathroom that was 10 feet away. And he conquered he conquered that struggle that he had. And we can do the same thing. Check out sinless.net. That's where all the paperwork is. That's where all the information is. And we will see you on the next episode.